Good morning with everyone. Thank you for being here. So O3 Mining is a pretty simple story in a sense. We have a group of assets in Val-d'Or, an area that has been extremely well explored and continue to be very well explored. We have a market cap of $130 million approximately. And we also have a fundamental value, in our opinion, of $450 million or so. So effectively at this point, we have 3 times the market cap that we have at this moment. But on top of that, which makes this story more unique, is the fact that we have $100 million in cash and equivalents, which means that we have an enterprise value of $30 million. Which it means that if we take from an enterprise value to where we are in fundamental value, we have the opportunity from the fundamental basis standpoint of view of having a 10x. O3 is being run by a very strong management team, a group of guys that's worked all over the world, and a group of people that are very well focused into develop this project. As you can see here, something different than you will see with our junior mining companies. We want to be in production, and that's what really defined us to become a producer. We have done, as of right now, a preliminary economic assessment, and we will be moving as of the beginning of September on our pre-feasibility study. We believe in ESG. Environment, social, and governance is part of our DNA. And as part of that, we're one of the few groups in Quebec that has been able to achieve the Ecologo certification. And we will continue to work in that basis because it's just the way we believe things has to be done. We are a new generation, not only of mining and investors, but we have to be a new generation on how to work with ESG, not because we are obliged, but because we believe that it works. This is what I explained at the beginning of the presentation. As you can see, the downside on the investment in this company really is very limited. The upside is high, although I have to tell you, you have to be patient. This is something where we will need to give between a year or 2 years to see the development, to see the 2x or the 3x. And why do I say that is because of 2 main reasons. One, we begin production by 2026. But in 2 years, we will be in a position where we will have the feasibility study and we will know in the permitting process that we are very close. That's one part. And that's on the fundamental basis. The second part is what could happen in the region. And by 2026, remember we're 2022, Agnico Eagle and Yamana, which has the Canadian Malartic mine, and I'll show you a picture because I think it's worthwhile, and they are right down here, only 12 kilometers from Marban, and they have a plant as of today for 55,000 tons per day. They will be running out of ore. So there will be an option where either they buy our product, which means that our capex will be reduced in 2/3, because right now our capex, most of that capex is actually on the mill and the tailings, which could be sent to Canadian Malartic, or 2, we could be a takeover target. So there is no, again, from the position of where is the downside, we think the downside here is very limited because we have $100 million in the bank. We have already spent the money to have right now all our resources in measured and indicated, and that allows us to be in a very strong position. We have been able to attract, because of the quality of the project, 2 different groups to cover us. We have 7 different groups covering us. As I mentioned before, it's not only because I say it, the people that cover us says that we have a target price, an average target price of $5.17. As of today, our stock is not $2.33, but actually $2. This was 2 weeks ago. And more important, to me at least, is to show that there is a skin in the game. Our family based in Peru, we have around 7% of the company, but where it says management is really myself and our family office out of Peru. Again, based in Val-d'Or, in an area that has been extremely profitable in terms of new discoveries and new mines, and Canadian Malartic itself, as you can see it down there, down here. Canadian Malartic has not only been finding more ore, but increasing production. And right now they're going to be moving from an open pit deposit, which is the old Canadian Malartic that was found by the founders actually of Osisko Mining, to going at depth where they have over 14 million ounces. So the question there is, can they actually use 50,000 tons per day on the plant that they have, or would they need more feed? My answer as an engineer is that they don't have enough geometry there is no space underground to really do 50,000 tons per day. I think at the very best, if they are super efficient, they're going to do 30,000 tons per day, which means that by 2026, 2027, they will need 30,000 tons. And the other thing is that they have one single mill. So once they turn on the energy, it works all the mill, not only parts. So if I were them, I would process anything that I have for that 50,000 tons, because that will be an opportunity to make an extra money without doing anything. This is just to show where we are, where is our engineering, which is in red, and in green is mostly where we have the green fields, an area where we have not even explored as of right now because we were too focused on converting these resources. So now we have fundamental value, now we have the ounces, now we will be doing more exploration in the surroundings and hopefully being able to show everyone that Marban is not a 2.3 million ounce deposit, but rather a 5 million ounce deposit. We have been doing what we told all our investors for the last 2 years. We have converted the resources from 1.8 million ounces to 2.3 million ounces. The metallurgy is working well. We moved from 93% to 96%. We are working right now on the geomechanical testing. We expect to have the baseline study by the end of July. We expect to have our pre-feasibility study by the first week of September. And of course, part of the upside here is to move at depth, something that we have not been doing because we have been focused only on getting the ounces that are close to surface, because it's where our investments are better paid. We have a secondary asset on the eastern side of our deposit called Alpha. You can see it's in the same Cadillac break, in the same area where most of the very big deposits have been found before. At Alpha, we have been doing extensive amount of work. We have found a new area called Bulldog, where we are working right now on the resource for Bulldog. We see right now around 300 to 400,000 ounces. But the important thing about Alpha is that this actually is repeated every kilometer. So as we continue to go along strike, I'm sure that we're going to keep adding a couple 100,000 ounces as we continue to do that job per every kilometer. So what are the next steps? Are very simple. We are working on the Marban engineering. We're going to be getting the results from the campaign at Alpha. We will finish the pre-feasibility study by the 1st of September. And we will be working on the initial resource for Bulldog, which is in Alpha. What other things we have been doing as of today in the last 13 seconds is to say that within our investments, we sold one of our assets to a company called Moneta Gold. So we actually have 27% of Moneta Gold. They recently came up with over 10 million ounces. Well, we have 27% of that company. And we sold one of our assets to a company called Cartier Resources, for which we have 19% of that company as well. So we have been executing on the plan on divesting non-core assets, focusing on our main asset, and focusing on fundamental value. With that, thank you very much to everyone.